Hello, this is Thomas Donald Jacobs for Paperboys on Thursdays, and today's topic is: do you go to traditionally male spaces, like barbershops or auto clubs? Um, why and why not? And how do those spaces make you feel? Um, I don't do barbershops just because I don't like strangers touching me, especially my hair. Um, that's a cultural thing. It's gross. Uh, and I'm cheap, so I cut my own. I'm not doing myself any favors. I wear a lot of hats. And I don't have a car, and I don't have any interest in cars. But I do go to some other spaces that um, have tended to be exclusively male, but they're the same spaces I went to before. I don't go out of my way to find new social situations because talking to strangers is my um, personal hell, basically. My anxiety means that it's not a thing that I'm gonna seek out unless I have a really good reason. So um, that is fossil shows. I collect trilobites. Comic Con. I like my merch. And uh, gay bars. The first two, um, I guess it's changed for me a little bit, and it's just a general thing. Um, Once you start kind of blending in, I guess, if you're a transmasculine individual, you may start to hear more things from cis guys that they might not necessarily have said to you before, um, and that can cause cause you to feel a little uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable, anyways. Just depends on the situation. Like the thing about the fossil shows, they've tended to be male dominated, but that's just because girls have never been encouraged to have an interest in hard sciences. But the shows themselves are commercial, and they tend to be dominated by males, but males of a certain type. Um, Fossil nuts, like if you're perceived to be female, like the worst that might happen is some really elderly fossil collector patronizing you, which is shitty and annoying. Um, but by and large, your gender doesn't have any real relevance there. No one cares about your personal details. None. I know people at some of these shows that I've been going to for years now, but I don't know their names because no one cares. The only topics of conversation, in fact, are who has good fossils this year, who has inexpensive fossils this year, who has the best fossils in their own private collection, and where can I get more fossils? That's it. So that's not a relevant thing. Um, I have no feelings about going to fossil shows other than I hope they have the fossil that I want this year. And then Comic Cons, that's changed. It's become so much bigger a thing, and fandoms are becoming so much more inclusive, and they should be. Comic books and science fiction and Star Trek, that's for everyone. Now, there has been problems with some small parts of fandoms who are dickbags. Uh, and they've become more vocal, but at the same time, like the fandoms are fighting back and saying, if you're going to be a jerk, um, take your shit elsewhere. That's the good thing about Star Trek. Like, I do feel more uncomfortable now around Trekkie groups. Uh, Not because it's not directed at me, um, by and large, but yeah, I don't want to hear it. And as far as I'm concerned, those people they're not real fans. If you like Star Trek, but you think that there shouldn't be gay characters or women characters or characters who are not white, you really missed the boat. You don't get Star Trek at all. And it's the same thing for Doctor Who. Take it elsewhere, man. This ain't your space. Um, so my feelings about um, going to Trek conventions and Comic Cons, that's not really changed at all. I think that they've improved and that they are becoming more inclusive, despite the opposition of idiots who didn't belong there to start with. Um, I have other feelings about gay clubs, though. Yeah, that's a hard one. I usually only go if I'm with friends and the place has really good cocktails. Because I'm not there to hook up. I'm not good. I can't make random idle chatter um, with with strangers. I just can't do it. So I'm not really there for socializing to start with, uh, and I am uncomfortable because I hate to say it, but cis gay culture, and yeah, some some trans masculine people too, can be really toxic and misogynistic, and I didn't sign up for that shit. That's not the kind of guy that I am interested in being, um, and I just don't want to be around it. So I've become more selective about which gay bars and gay clubs I will go to. If it's not an explicitly inclusive place, um, if my lesbian friends ain't welcome, I ain't going. Uh, that's yeah. I had my fill of places that were um, exclusively for gay men, and I didn't like it. I didn't like what I saw. So um, that was about it. I don't go to places where you know it's dudes trying to outdude one another. I don't I think that I'm a pretty yeah, feminine uh trans person. Um and I as such do not have a dog in that race. Uh yeah, that's about it. So I will see you next week. Bye.